There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling, and you take him for a friend.
He wasn't wrong then, and he wasn't wrong now. And there's so much that we could learn from Malcolm X, especially when it comes to how to deal with the left these days. Good evening, one and all, to Apostate Radio episode 55. I can't believe that we're up this far. It's incredible to be here with you one more evening. You'll notice I am here by myself. And the reason why that is because my co-host, my brother Nino Sabio, is unfortunately he's traveling at the moment. He was out of town this weekend, and he's enjoying the Memorial Day weekend with his family. So it's just me tonight. So I greatly appreciate all of you who are here. And listen, Sheikh, Nino is a lot. Will tolerate more of your foolishness. Okay, you're gonna get permabanned. I'm not putting up with you tonight. Okay, I'm just not. So you're the only one. You're the only one in here for right now. But anyways, I'm not gonna get distracted by this. We got a big show tonight. Of course, if you want to follow us directly, you can individually. You can follow us at Isaiah L. Carter or at Nino Sabio X. The Apostate Radio YouTube, the Apostate Radio show page is up as well on X, Apostate Radio NY. And if you wish to support us financially, and we really could use the support. You can follow us at you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/apostate radio. We have Apostate Radio merch that's available at realtimeinc.com/collection/apostate-radio. That's my brother Joshua's company. Him and his wife Keisha have put together quite a collection for Apostate Radio and anyone else. They've got a great collection for USA 250. So please make sure that you get your merch there. Oh man. So we're gonna go ahead and get things started tonight. I have with me a gentleman who takes even less foolishness. He tolerates even less foolishness than I do. It's something to watch. And just to give you a brief preview as to what this brother's all about. This is what he does on his YouTube channel. I present to you Mr. Tim Black.
I'm tired of people not getting this. The Democratic Party wants us to stay stuck to the fucking bottom. You understand? The Latinos, the Hispanics, they want them to come in over us. Get it? They want us to stay on the floor, nigga. If we stay on the floor, nigga, that's not a replacement. The floor stay the floor. The floor stays the fucking floor. You gotta have an underclass. We the underclass. What you don't understand. So they're not trying to replace you. That's some shit a Republican told you. It's worse than that. If they were trying to replace you, they wouldn't be mad if you wouldn't vote a Republican. They want you to stay a slave and then bring in some other people to watch your ass. Do you get it?
People don't get it. People don't get it. But we're going to talk about that and more tonight with the one and only Tim Black. What's going on, bro?
Man, what's up, Isaiah? How you doing, brother? Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. You know what? I really appreciate you coming by. You have been a firebrand on many subjects, and I have to say it's a pleasure to finally have you to have you on with us tonight. Since this is the first time that you've been on the show, I'm gonna give you the floor is now yours. I'm gonna give you a chance to introduce yourself to our audience here. So let the people know who you are, what you're about, and all that kind of stuff before we get going.
Okay. Well, once again, thank you, Isaiah, for the opportunity. Welcome to Tim Black. What's up to your audience, man? Everybody out there that's checking us out, man. I'm just a humble servant of the truth, brother. I believe what I believe, and I believe that right now what we need is immediacy and urgency to combat the bullshit. I believe that both parties are horrific. Just one's a little more horrific in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And that us people, we have to band together and go against the media machine. The media machine will eat us all. The false narratives, the nonsense. I've been doing this now about 15 years. I never knew, sort of like you feel when people tune in, it's like, wow, people want to hear this shit. I didn't know it was going to go this far, brother. I was in IT. I come home, I cut on my computer, and I just talk about what was going on and what was impacting my community. And somehow it caught on and ended up doing, more shows. And at one point I was doing a show every night. I went on a 90-day challenge. And I got a lot better. I got a lot better real quick because I did a show every day. Then I made it 120 days. I figured if most people do 2 shows or 1 show a week, if I did one every day, I get so much better, so much faster. That's not really how it works, though.
Yeah, you got practice makes perfect. I mean, we've been doing this. We've been doing this now for about a little over a year. Apostate Radio. We've been doing our show primarily on Sunday nights.
Okay,
we have and that's because this show's been this show I work around my my schedule with my 9 to 5. I'm in public transportation.
Okay.
And so that's basically what it's been like. Started off with me, I normally had weekends off, but I worked PMs, and just recently there's been a change. So now my PM tour is now to AMs. So I might actually have a little flexibility to do something at night now, as opposed to just the Sunday nights at 8 p.m. So I might take you up on that 90-day challenge. But you said you've been doing this for 15 years.
Yeah, man. I started my first channel in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was always into journalism, bro. I was working for a paper here in DC when I was in like my mid-20s. But
okay.
it didn't pay shit, man. It was, can we curse?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you played the clip, so I thought we good. Yeah, man, but it just didn't pay enough, man. And I had a family. I was like, I got to get into something. So I got into computers, but I said one day when I get an opportunity, I'm going to get back into broadcasting and either that or radio. And then the internet came, really, man. I mean, it became more accessible for regular folks. I mean, before the internet, all you could do was public access TV.
Mm-hmm.
And that was ass. So this opened up an opportunity. YouTube was free. All you needed was a mic. I had a Snowball, that little white microphone. It sat way up here, and I used to yell to the mic. And so now I still yell, but I need to do better with my, I got the show. So anyway,
you can't yell into them. You can't yell into them shores.
Yeah, not really. I mean, you don't have to. Use your voice. Resonate.
Exactly.
But brother, I was more of I wasn't into politics. I was more so into the cultural stuff that was happening in my community. I dealt with a lot of law enforcement stuff. And and what happened was I got viewers, and viewers wanted me to get involved. This was like 2015. You know, they were like, Tim, man, we got this guy named Bernie Sanders. And his guy, he's a Jewish guy from New York, but the shit he talks about, you'll be interested. And I was like, man, I don't trust some politicians. You know, I was raised, my parents did not vote. And I was raised, my mom always says, JFK tried to do some good and they killed him. And that was pretty much it for you know, and my dad always looked at politicians as scumbags, pretty much. It was a racket, he would say.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can see where that mindset come from. Yeah,
working class black family from Washington, D.C. That's where I'm from. And so
wait a minute.
I was reluctant. I was reluctant, Isaiah, but man, I tell you, man, after I looked at some of the planks, the issues like healthcare, government, you know, federal job guarantees. These things were interesting to me. I never heard anybody talk about doing that. Pretty much, I come from a background of you don't swim, you sink.
Basically, yeah.
And you know, the idea that people can get health care, this is an idea. I didn't even know they had that shit in Sweden. And other countries provided that. I was like, wow, that would be good. So I was green and I was walking new to it, and I thought that progressives made sense, and the policy is like, well, man, if anything's going to help the black community be better off, have longer life expectancies, have safer neighborhoods, fill up less jails. If that's what they say this can help do, I'll hear the guy out. So I listened, so I went that way for a while. And I'll leave the rest. I mean, I could go on and on. I got a long story, but just say this: your Malcolm X clip hit home for me in lots of ways, bro.
How so? And listen, tell your story. That's what we're here for. Because bro. Now you can tell your story. You can listen because there's a lot of us. Now hold on, man. There's a lot of us out here who have stories about why the Democrat Party machine, why we left.
Yeah.
And how we figured out that leftism it does not work for the black community. So please, sir, tell your story. I want to hear it.
Hey man, well look, y'all heard that. That was Isaiah. He said do it, so we gonna do it. Fam, the best way I could put it is, at one point I was the biggest black independent left media in the country. There was nobody bigger than me that was black that was doing this shit. I was the guy. And I interviewed a lot of major candidates. I mean, you name them, I interviewed them, from Andrew Yang to Marianne Williamson to, that 2016 lineup, that was me. Even Green Party folks, Jill Stein or Jamu Baraka, they came on. It was like a Coy Bush. Jamal Bowman. All these Democrats that you look at now, you be like, what they all came through my channel. I went to rallies. I covered events. I opened for Jill Stein at a rally back when Bernie dropped out in 2016, or when they railroaded him out, I should say. He didn't drop out, but he conceded at the DNC convention. So I was really integrated into the system, and what happened was I started talking about black shit, right? I started talking about things that impacted Black America. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of great progressives who are good people. They're just fucked up because they're in a system that they won't accept. It's not about making them whole. They turn their back on the working class, and they only pay lip service through identity politics for black folks, which only makes things worse because they rile you up, but they have no solutions once they rile you up. The plan, there is no plan. The plan is the Democrats believe that the Republicans are racist, and you ain't got no other choice but to stay with us and just shut up and do that. And that just didn't work for me, and long story short, that just didn't work for me over time. I just began to realize that these people said that they were better. They weren't really better. They were different, but they weren't better than the worst racists I've ever met. In fact, I hate to say it, Isaiah, but I met more racists that were progressives than I met that were conservatives.
Brother, that's been my experience. That's been my experience here in New York. Now, I am originally, I'm from right up I-95. I'm from Baltimore. Okay. I'm surprised you didn't notice the DC United patch that I'm wearing. I'm a big supporter of the soccer club down there. I love DC United. I've been a fan of theirs for many, many years. Rest in peace to Big Rob. I've been raised I was raised in a conservative family. My parents are, very conservative, God-fearing. Okay. So I was raised. So when we went to church, I was raised around a lot of white conservatives, right? We went to a predominantly white church out in, out in the county. Okay. I moved up here to New York in 2015. Okay. For my current career. And I got glimpses of the racism of white liberals in Baltimore. You see it even more now. Like when I started, like when I was going to University of Baltimore, but when I moved up here, Tim, when you see when you see white leftists in all of their privilege, okay, when they're not interested in providing solutions for anybody, when they're not interested in doing anything except keeping themselves on on their own pedestal, right? You said, like you said in the opening, they aren't interested in actually doing anything to help anybody,
right?
But especially not us. They'll help everybody else but us. Especially if they think that there's even less of them than there are of black people in my estimation. Okay. And nowhere was that seen for me in the last few years than with this whole illegal immigration thing. When I lived in Brooklyn, we had, I've told this story many times. We had 3 homeless shelters that were all replaced. They kicked all of the families, all the women, all the kids, all the veterans that were in those homeless shelters, kicked them all out, moved all the illegals in.
Damn.
And they did that, and I'm telling you, they did that throughout. They did that throughout the 5 boroughs. My wife grew up in Wakefield in the Bronx, okay, the far North Bronx. And we were actually, it's crazy, we were talking about this earlier this evening, how they just started warehousing illegal immigrants in their neighborhoods, like in Wakefield. They were everywhere, There's a hotel on White Plains Road over by the train yard that it's a fake hotel. Like it's literally for illegals. And black folk, and it's a very heavy, it's like a West Indian, very Jamaican neighborhood Wakefield is. And they just put these people in the neighborhood like it was nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let me ask you this. What's happening down there in DC? Like, have they been doing that type of thing? That like the local government down there on that level?
I'm not in Baltimore, but I'm in I'm in the Waldorf area, DC.
Oh, okay. Southern Maryland.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. I would say my brother lives in DC. He drives the subway train. He used to drive the buses. Now he drives the subway train.
Okay.
And from his explanation, from what he sees when he was doing his routes, he'd see it, constantly. Waves of immigrants coming in to the district.
Mm-hmm.
I can't confirm if it's as bad as New York, but I know it's bad. I know it's impacting a lot of areas. We've seen it since we grew up in Maryland. In Maryland, we've seen a lot of it. There are neighborhoods that totally flip from, it was crazy, you know, seeing them flip from black to almost entirely Hispanic. And you know who hates it the most, right? Are the new immigrants coming in. The people that hate it the most are the Hispanic Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucked up if they try to say, well, you know, you're being a white nationalist. People have called me a white nationalist for talking about the resources that are stretched already that we get the last of to begin with. And now these people jumped in front of black folks in line for resources. There's only so many resources that are allocated in the budget. So, but they call you white nationalists for questioning it, but the people most pissed are the Latino Americans who have stood in line, who've been here, whose parents have been here, who are watching this happen. They're really pissed off. I mean, just imagine you waiting in line to get your shit right, and then these people come in with a mandate from the president at the time, and they just jump in front, and now you're competing against them as they lower the cost of labor, as they drag down the cost of wages, as resources are taken up. It's just so much housing. We got the BlackRock fuckers taking all the houses. They buying the houses as soon as they're built. So that's a problem. So it's coming from many areas. But to answer your question, I don't know if it's as bad as New York, because New York is really bad from what I understand. I will say it's a problem pretty much everywhere.
I mean, it probably isn't as bad. I mean, y'all got other issues in DC, like them fucking teen takeovers down in the Navy Yard. Bro. I ain't never seen that. I have never seen anything like that. Just hordes of teenagers just going in and tearing shit up, not caring about anybody. Okay, fighting with residents in the neighborhood. Right. So you know you got all them yuppies that live in them in their mid-rises around like right around M Street. Yeah, that's M Street, southeast. Just completely like, oh my God, like what are they even doing? Like around 10G Street and all that. Like I've never seen this happening on such a regular basis. Master Shake said changing consumer habits.
Well, you know, Isaiah, I will say, you know, the economy is shit. So I will admit that the economy is shit. That doesn't excuse theft and robberies and shit like that, though. But it is shitty, and it hasn't gotten better for those people that are in those situations. And that particular area of M Street, very heavily gentrified. So they pushed the residents, man. I remember when M Street was black, man. They didn't push them the fuck out to the southern Maryland suburbs, which causes a cultural shift there. And they don't really have the means to compete in that area. I mean, D.C. and Prince George's County, one of the most affluent neighborhoods for Black Americans in the country, if not the most affluent. So
yes, it is.
The poor from D.C. who lived in like the hardest parts of towns, as they revitalized those areas, gentrified them and whited them up, made them really nice, real yuppie. They pushed them out and sent them amongst a block away from people who worked hard for their money, who are government contractors, who are making six figures.
Yep.
So this like watching the drug dealer go to work while you broke. It's almost like that. It's almost like the late 80s, early 90s in that way, because we got people without resources living right next to people with resources. These people that went to work and earned it, they didn't sell drugs, but you're still seeing it and you don't have it. So that's not an excuse, but that is what I've seen happen. I know what's going on. You got to lock motherfuckers up. I mean, what else can you do? I don't want them to lock them up, but some people, what can you do? I mean, it's so much that needs to be done. If there is no infrastructure that's going to have opportunities for these kids, these young people, because not all kids, they're going to resort to that, man. Once upon a time, when I was in Maryland, brother, I didn't live in D.C. at the time. We moved out when I was a kid to Maryland because Maryland was just a better place to live for us, for my parents. But I remember looking at over there, looking across the bridge at the kids in DC. They all had summer jobs.
Yeah.
DC was not fucked up. DC, they had Marion Barry, and people say, Tim, why DC put up with Marion Barry? Well, he had summer job programs. He had small business opportunities. He allocated a certain amount, I think it was 30%, to black small businesses. He took black single moms and gave them programs so they could get in the government, the federal government, well, the state government. Well, not state, it's DC. So DC government, which is different. But still, it gave them an opportunity and a bridge to the middle class. All that shit's gone now.
Yeah. Yeah. And shoot, I don't think it's coming back.
No.
I mean, the way some of these people talk, you know, it's almost as if me personally, I have never been more convinced that the powers that run these cities and these states, I have never been more convinced that this is what they want. I'm convinced they want the chaos. I'm convinced that they want these kids to run around here like wild fucking animals, just tearing shit up wherever they go, so that they can go on their little shows and talk about how this is all quote unquote the language of the unheard. Because you know the elites are good for that shit.
They can fix it. If they wanted to fix it,
the law,
brother.
That's all you have to do.
Brother.
Like every time I listen to Spencer Pratt, who's running for mayor in Los Angeles right now.
Okay.
Every time I listen to that dude explain the hell that people have gone through over there under Democrat leadership. Karen Bass been around for a long fucking time. This is a woman who's been around. This is a woman who was in the running to become Joe Biden's vice president over Kamala Harris.
I remember that.
I mean, with her Vincent Amos Brigade, communist chops and everything. Biden was going to hire that lady.
Yeah.
But this woman been around a long time, and the stuff that I see out of Los Angeles, it scares the shit out of me, because I know that's what they've been trying to turn New York City into, and they're close to doing it. The only reason why, I'm telling you right now, the only reason why we are not LA is because our weather sucks. Dead ass. No, because we're cold. Like right now, it's 50-some degrees. I live north of the city now, but it's cold a lot of days in the year. Okay.
Yeah.
In the wintertime in New York, remember when we had those snowstorms? Those two snowstorms like back to back?
Record setting. Yeah.
Yeah, record setting. Yeah. Matter of fact, it's so crazy. I drove back home. I drove my wife back home from DC up here in the middle of one of them snowstorms.
Bad boy, man. Yeah.
25 people lost their lives on New York City streets. They fucking froze to death. The only reason we are not LA or San Francisco is because of our weather.
Too damn cold.
Yeah, it's too damn cold. But like I said, but like the stuff that he describes over there, it's like all you have to do, even with Trump right now. And we're going to get into one of the things I want to talk to you about regarding the Democrat Party. Trump is just simply what he's showing, and what people on the local level are trying to achieve, in my opinion, is they just want to do things. They just want to enforce the law. If you if you enforce the law that are already on the books and get people off the streets, get these people off the streets and into some type of treatment. I'm talking about the homeless people. If you lock these animals that go into these businesses and shoplift and tear shit up, instead of going and doing George Soros's bidding and being like, oh well, we won't prosecute up to $750 worth of shoplifting.
Yeah, can't do that.
Like, I don't understand. Tim, talk to me real quick, man. Like, when did you start to see this?
Bam,
with this refusal to fight crime, this refusal to enforce the law. When did you start seeing it down there?
Man, if you don't give people an alternative, and you let people know they can get away with shit, they will get away with shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I want to be progressive. I want to say, give the programs. I do want to say that. But as long as people know there's free shit to be taken, and once you announce you could take them up to this amount, you got motherfuckers with calculators going, okay, where we at now? How much should we have? It's America. I mean, everyone does it. The rich folks do it with loopholes and taxes. What can we get away with? How much can I keep? I don't want to give that fucking none of my money. The government, but they're going to squander it. Everyone's playing the same game. It's just that when these young people play the game, it's dirty. It's in your face. It's insane. So you gotta lock them up. And when did I see him, man? Bruh, I gotta say, it was after the riots, man. I mean, it was after BLM. I mean, it just was. And initially, I supported it because I covered so many police interactions, what have you. That I said, well, of course, I don't like seeing any people. I mean, I covered all kinds of people getting beat up and killed by cops, but predominantly 90% of them were black folks. And then I started seeing through it. Like, damn, they're not publicizing the white stories I cover. That were, because white people get killed by cops and no one covers it. And I'm not feeding into that shit. Well, all know the white people are oppressed. What I'm saying is it's a mechanism. They use it as a mechanism to promote certain narratives. It's not good for white people. It's not good for black people. It's not good for anyone when they use your pain as a way to sell their political party bullshit. That's what made me start seeing it, because I'm sitting here watching it and I feel a certain kind of way reporting it and not seeing any action done to prevent it or to cure it. And that's when I realized anything in America that's done is done because we allow it. We're too fucking rich. You can't say we couldn't do. So it's just a certain stew. They want it to happen or they'd stop it, on both sides. They want you to be broke. They want you to be desperate. And then they don't want to have solutions because that keeps the machine going. I must have peeped that out back in, I guess, 2017, 2018. It just smelled wrong for me, but it hasn't gotten better. So I don't want your audience, if they, on my show, I talk about these things, but I don't want to seem like I'm justifying, like I'm not a conservative. I'm not saying, hey, lock everybody up and throw away the key. You do need programs. You need both. You need services, you need opportunity, but you need laws too. Because I don't want to call them animals. Let's just say you eat what you kill. And if people's backs are against the wall, even if their backs aren't against the wall, we got such a society of people wanting the nice, shiny shit. Isaiah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I don't want to even paint the picture that it's just everybody's struggling so bad they had no choice. Nah, motherfucker, they had a choice. One in the new Nikes, one in the new Jordans is not an oppression. Right. You don't have the new Jordans. That's
I need to run. I need to run into a Nike store and steal a pair of phone posits because my family needs bread. I mean, that's what AOC said. That's the AOC defense.
Maybe some people are selling them. Maybe, I get that, And hell, man, Kennedy was a drug dealer of his time. He was bootlegging the alcohol. Okay, I get it. But guess what happens? You go to jail, though, don't you?
Exactly. There has to be. There has to be penalty. There has to be consequences for the actions. If there are no consequences for the actions, then clearly the people who could enforce the law want those things to happen.
That's the point.
They
can't
want
have a
those
society.
things to happen. Yeah.
You can't have a society that allows that shit to happen basically unchecked for political gain.
Exactly.
Because the damn sure does not help the working people around them, the people that are, going to work, that want peace, and it obviously benefits somebody.
Now, you said that you're not a conservative per se. You're not a conservative, you said. What exactly, how would you define your politics if you could just talk to my audience real quick, or our audience? How would you, Tim Black, describe your politics?
That's a good question.
Safe space. You can, we use a safe space, brother. I'm not going. We're not going to come down hard on you.
No. I'm just trying to consider what that is, because I pride myself so much on being independent. I have conservative. There's some things I'm conservative about. Some things I'm progressive about. Like, I understand we need healthcare. I don't know if Medicare for all is a solution exactly, because there's some shit with that. I mean, I've had some bad doctors. I gotta be, I just let a doctor go. I fired my doctor for a good reason. You know what I'm saying? And you should be able to, until you are in that situation and you see, oh, well, I got this guy or this person, this doctor sucks. Like, until you experience it, you might not even have that in your peripheral, that people need to choose their own doctors for a reason. So it's not just a talking point when you live through the shit. But to say what's my denomination, boy, I'm agnostic. So I support. Okay, here it is. I'm a working class soldier. If you work for a living, if you don't have a trust fund, and if you didn't work for a couple months or maybe 2 or 3 months, your ass may become one of the homeless. I'm your guy. Because I fight for you. I don't fight for elites. I support black folks. I make black people my priority. That's why part of why I started doing this, but not black elites. Not Joy Reid, not Don Lemon, not wealthy black people that forgot what it's like to be on the bottom. They've been rich so long, they can't even relate to working class black people. In fact, if you put into a room with working class white people and a rich black person, you're probably better off kicking it with the working class white guy. At least he knows what it's like.
Exactly.
To get his ass kicked. I'm just saying, so I'm not on that totally either, because I've been there, I've seen the shit, right? I've been in the room of elites at Politicon and the the Yamiche Alcindors and and that's where I met Shamichael Singleton, and Shamichael was a much cooler motherfucker than April Ryan.
Really?
Believe it or not. But
I totally believe it. But matter of fact, hold on. Speak on that. Like when you what Politicon did you go to, and what was your experience like? You said you met your Michael Singleton. Shout to that brother. What was your experience like in dealing with people on both parties?
It was crazy. 2019, right? I think it was 2019 and 2018. One of those years, man. They were having a Politicon. A lot of progressives were going. I contacted Politicon. Was like, hey, I'm Tim Black. They were like, yeah, we know who you are. I was like, look, how about you include me? I don't know why you didn't contact me. So I ended up being on some panels. I was in Politicon. Yeah, I was in Politicon, and I had an opportunity to debate Tommy Lauren. So it was me, Kyle Kalinske, and Tommy Lauren, and somebody Foothead or Headfoot or whatever I don't even know who.
Shoe on Head.
That's it.
Okay.
She was in it as well, and
I've heard of her. She actually is pretty good.
And she was I think she was a little new at the time. I don't know how long she had been doing commentary at that point, but I'll just say while we were there, I had an opportunity to see some true colors and be experienced. I was exposed to conservatives and progressives at the same time. And I'm seeing like, Tommy Lohman, I had a beef with her because she was on some blame Black Lives Matter for everything. I'm like, well, hold on, everything's not Black Lives Matter. As far as some shit is the system. And I feel like Tommy, and I still do. Now, haven't watched her lately. I think she softened her approach. But Tommy Lauren, she was making some comments. It was a bullshit panel. And they were like, how can we all get along? How can all the media get along? Why are we talking past one another? And I was like, hey, Tommy, let's stop acting like the problem is we can't understand each other. We understand each other. You're paid a lot of money from the Blaze and now Fox News to say certain trigger shit in order to get your audience going. That's all it is. So if you're going to do that, stand on it. And Kyle sat there and he just clammed up on me. We on stage, everyone's in the room, and I could see, I can't be in his head, but it felt like he was thinking, Tommy's the shit. She's got shows. I want to get on. This is before he was with Crystal. And he didn't want to call her out. I'm like, I'm up there calling her out, challenging her. Because to me, if you're the establishment, I don't give a fuck what side of the aisle you're on. That's what you are. Don't tell me we can't get along. We can. We human beings. Don't tell me ideology is what our problem is. No, if we have a conversation, we can do that. But you can only have a fair conversation with people who are being real. You can't have a fair conversation with people who are paid money to peddle narratives. This shit don't exist. So that's been my experience. And just the April Ryan part it was her and Yamiki Lucinda. They were there, as was Donna Brazile. And I had already interviewed Donna Brazile. And the coach showed her, man, it was some elitist shit. The first thing April Ryan says, I'm walking up with my family, and she goes, who you with? I said, I'm with myself. I got my own, my own channel, my own network. She's like, oh, well, hook a sister up. If we need somebody. And I'm like, who is? What? I didn't know she was like this. Like, yeah, she's like, hook a sister up. I'm like, I don't even, she just brushed me.
Hold on. April Ryan. We're talking about White House press corps. April Ryan.
All bullshit. She a down. She is what Jasmine Crockett pretends to be.
Oh shit.
No bullshit. She is around the way. I was thrown, dog. I was like, what? I had no idea. And she was like, I thought maybe she was drunk. I don't know. But she was
wait. Fuck you mean hook a sister up? You the one with the White House press credentials?
Man.
The fuck are you? Like, the fuck is she gonna
do? I don't think she had got the notoriety from Trump fully yet. I think it came soon after
2019, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember did she get her hooked up yet? Yeah, because she started, Trump said mean things. I represent all black women now. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're so happy. Like, these are gifts. When Trump shits on you, it's a gift. It's like being kissed by you're the fraud that just got kissed and you get to turn into the prince.
Yeah. They're
stop acting like you're being tormented. You prayed for this. They prayed for Trump to stay there.
Yo, I've been meaning to ask you that because I don't know if you've noticed this, but the one thing that really, because if you it's clear amongst our people that that's like black folk don't fuck with Trump. At least there are larger numbers now because I've never seen as many black conservative voices than I have in the last several years, myself included. Because I used to be a Democrat. I was a moderate Democrat for many years.
Wow.
And I voted for Barack Obama twice. I voted for Hillary Clinton. Voted for Biden. Shut the fuck up, Master Shake. No. This asshole in my comments.
No, it's just you voted for. Oh man, you okay? You voted for Hillary. I know that hurt.
You know,
because you couldn't have liked her.
No, well, at the time, I did like her. Okay, I looked at it because again, I am only recently coming back to what I was before, where I was to. I'm coming back to my raising. Okay,
man, Isaiah, I fucking like you, man. You're an honest man.
Thank you, my brother.
You got nothing to gain by admitting that shit, and the fact you did that with your whole chest. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell people all the time, man, have grace. Because once upon a time, we didn't know shit. No matter what you know now, Sheik,
yes.
Once upon a time, you didn't know shit, and somebody had to help you learn, and you learned something, and now you were somebody else, and everybody has that process. I'm still learning, brother. And anybody thinks they got this shit all figured out is dumb as fuck. Because this new shit always coming.
Bro, you ain't lying. I appreciate that compliment, brother. I really do. But like I said, I'm coming back into my raising because I was from about 2008 up until about 2022. I was a hardcore, I voted for Obama in 2008, got caught up in all of the, the hope and change foolishness, and then voted again for Obama in 2012. And then in 2016, I voted for Hillary Clinton because again, I wasn't going to vote for Donald Trump. I was one of those blacks who thought that Donald Trump didn't have a chance. And then once he won and everybody went fucking crazy and everybody went Trump derangement syndrome, all the Democrats just went nuts. And in 2020, yes, I did. During COVID, I voted for Biden. I voted for Biden in 2020.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I did more for Biden than I've ever done for any other political figure. I donated to Biden's campaign.
Shut the front door.
I had never donated to a presidential campaign in my life, but I donated to Joe Biden because I had TDS. I had Trump derangement syndrome. I was one of them who believed that Trump was the threat to our democracy and all this other bullshit that the party machine kept shoveling down everybody's throats. I was one of them people about George Floyd. I thought people had killed. I thought that George Floyd had gotten killed. I believed every single Democrat psyop that they put on us. January 6th hit. January 6th, I thought it was the worst thing ever. I even called it my own name for it. But then I called it the Capitol Putsch. You had the beer hall putsch, you had the Capitol Putsch. I was a fucking embarrassment. And then what happened in 2021 was it was like, okay, Democrats had made the case that, you know what? If we will make everything better. We will make everything normal as long as you vote for us. And that's what I did in 2020. They stole it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Democrats stole that election. They stole that election. I'm telling you right now, they did. But I was one who voted for Joe Biden. And it was the worst mistake I ever made in my life. That new normal that they said they were going to return everything to normal. But the one thing I learned about the left is that they use language operationally. Oh, we'll give you normal, but the normal we prescribe for you. And so, in June of 2021, my account got snatched. My Twitter account got snatched.
Okay,
and it was because I did not check. So Derek Chauvin, the guy who's the cop who's sitting in prison right now over George Floyd. This trans identifying male called said that basically he went on an abolish prisons rant on behalf of Derek Chauvin. Prisons are bad. Prisons are awful. Nobody should go. You're not going to get but he said this on behalf of Derek Chauvin. So I was like, okay. So then I looked into this guy's background. This is a man who liked to identify as a woman, as an autogynephile. And I looked up and seen he had gotten in trouble with the law for drug possession. He had drug paraphernalia and all sorts of stuff. So I wrote a tweet saying basically, this is Walter White. He got busted with Walter White got busted with some crystal meth, and now here he is on abolish prisons. I said, white men protecting white men, folks. 'Tis a train that is never late. Snatched my account that night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, who was Twitter still Twitter? It was not owned by
Twitter
Elon.
Was still Twitter. This was before Elon bought it.
Okay.
So for me, it was so I'm gonna tell you what really was the kicker for me.
Please.
When my friends at the time, my leftist friends at the time, started telling me that I deserved to get my account snatched, that I deserved for not misgender, for the crime of the social crime of misgendering a trans woman, I deserved to have my account snatched. I deserved to have my voice silenced. And it was silenced for 4 months. I had never experienced anything like that. It was dark. It was dark, Tim.
Wow.
I never, bro, when I tell you, and it wasn't until Dave Chappelle, it wasn't until after that, after Sticks and Stones, it wasn't until that special, that Netflix special, that they let that they freed my account. And man, I'm telling you, that really put a bad taste in my mouth about the left. That was the first bad taste. The second bad taste was the Afghanistan withdrawal.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, man. Like,
that's tough, man.
Look,
I see similarities, Isaiah. I see similarities in your story, in my story.
Talk to me. Okay,
so the first time I met O.J. Simpson.
You
you brought up Dave Chappelle. I did a Dave Chappelle callback. Nah,
well, he's from where you from?
What's that?
Where are you from?
The first time I realized how shitty the Democrats were, what woke me up to, I wasn't a Democrat. Being a progressive's a different thing. It's like, you're like third party, but you'll go Dem if you have to, but you never go Trump, was sort of the mantra, right? But see, what it was is, at the core of me, man, I believe in truth. And I'm always trying to get to the truth of a matter.
Yes,
and
sir.
Having an audience like you have now, you love your people. Them your people. Them people are the ones that have your back. When you start small and you building up your show, and it's only, 30 people, and you show up every fucking night, and they're still there with you, cheering you on and loving on you and supporting you, and you know each other, and you know them when they come in the room. That's your people. And when you lie to me, right, you make me like an idiot because I believe you, which is corporate media. Dog, when I found out they were lying on Trump about the fucking Charlottesville, and when I saw that the AP, I said, like, it's one thing if MSNBC is on some bullshit. Associated Press, dog? I can't trust them.
Yeah.
Fam, I'm telling you, it was something that broke in me. Because it was like, that was so egregious. I don't know if people get it. Audience, Isaiah knows this but I want you to feel this.
Come
The
on.
lies they said about Trump about the Charlottesville, where he said there were good people on both sides. Trump said, "Oh, I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis. They don't deserve to be in our society. Fuck them."
They should be
cut
condemned
him
completely.
and flipped it totally.
Yep.
And I said, well, God damn. They ran it everywhere. And to this day, Obama says it. To this day, Biden still says a lie about this guy. In their autopsy report, they still won't admit. They say they haven't smeared him enough.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, so that's what did it for me, man, is just seeing them lie. And not only did they do Trump with lies that made me get caught looking like an ass, like I was a part of it, when I wasn't. I believed it was real. I didn't know it was a false narrative that we all need to play along. They weren't giving me the emails. I wasn't on the group chats and in the DNC circles where you get the talking points officially, and you know it's all bullshit, but these are the talking points and we're all going to be on one accord. That's what they do, but I wasn't a part of that. So when I saw the shit, I thought it was real. I thought that Trump really did these things, right? And then when I saw they did Bernie the same way, I said, oh, that's it, fuck them. It's both sides. It's both. It's them smearing. They'll smear their own if their own don't fall in line, and they'll smear the Republican. And I said, that's what woke me totally up. And I said, I can't go with it. But on the point where you say it was your own progressive type, liberal Democrats, whatever, who stabbed you in the back, that same thing happened to me. I had an issue with Breonna Joy Gray.
Oh.
Yeah, I had an issue with her because, and it's fucked up because Breonna Joy Gray, I considered her a friendly person. Like I had been, she interviewed me for the Bernie Sanders podcast. I was on Bernie Sanders podcast, though. That's how far I had gone.
Wow.
But she said some things, and now people probably don't recall this, but as I got more into say, I'm a champion for Black Americans. Somebody's got to do it. I got a platform. What good am I if I'm the leading Black voice in leftist independent media and I don't fight for Black Americans? Who the fuck else is going to do it? I can't leave it to Jimmy Dore. I can't leave it to Kyle Kalinske. It's my job. So I'm doing that. And Breonna Joy Gray, she said, because Black people have always been on this Black agenda shit. This is not new. We've been talking this since the 80s. Mm-hmm. Black agenda. Breonna Joy Gray, when she was working with Bernie, she said, we don't need no Black agenda. Won't we just say Medicare for all and put Black at the top of it? We don't need Black policies. Any policies we do that help working class people help Black people more because it's more broke Black people. And that fuck with me because we're not in the same, like, social class. The average white American, for every dollar they have, we have 10 cents. You can't say it's the same. I know they want the class argument, I get it, but dog, we too broke. I mean, a Black man with a college education is worth less than a white man who's a high school dropout. You cannot compare these two and say, oh, it's good. As long as it helps poor white people, it helps poor Black people. We need 10 times the help. We deserve to fight for a Black agenda. We may not get it, but you cannot walk around just because you got money and ignore that the masses of Black Americans are not doing well. You can't ignore the poverty rate. You can't ignore the unemployment rate. You can't ignore the racial wealth gap. These things exist. It's not a talking point. Just because I'm not fucked up in the game to that extent doesn't mean my cousins aren't. So that's what caused it. The left decided I was trouble. I was not going along with the script. I wasn't falling in line totally with the class divide. And I was going to champion for Black Americans. And they set me up. I'm up there, I'm doing my show like you see how I get. I get rambunctious, I get loud, I get indignant. I roast a motherfucker. And I roasted Breonna Joy Gray. And I said, Joy Gray, me and you gonna fight. We're going to fight like old school. We're going to break out the Vaseline. You can take your earrings out. We're going to stomp, girl. You know, these corny, purple-haired, hippie motherfuckers said I was threatening to do something literally to her. Like, they made it seem like I literally was a problem. Now, Brianna Joy knows my mom, my wife. She knows my kids. When we did the Bernie show, my whole family went. She knows my people. When we went to Politicon, Brianna Joy was there. She met my sons and my daughter and my wife again. Like, I didn't mean it.
They all knew each other.
Dog, they played me like I was a black brute. Like, when I say, man, I'm gonna fuck you up, dog. I'm gonna get you. They were playing like I meant that literally. Is what they did. Yeah. And I said, oh, this is fucked up. So that's how they did me, man. They did me like they cut videos up like they did Trump. If I say something, they clip 20 seconds of it and don't use it in totality. And try to say, well, he's threatening bodily harm. On Brianna Joy Gray, no. I'm going to fuck her up with truth. I'm going to fuck her up with her own words, not literally fuck her up. What are you talking about? You know, I'm a grown-ass man with kids. What are you talking about? But the progressives brought it, Isaiah. They believed that I was going to throw my life away, my family away, my career away, my business away. I haven't had a regular job in 12 years. I was going to throw it all away to fight a woman who was pretty friendly with me. They believe that because why they believe I would do that, Isaiah? If it's not racism, what else is it that would make people that have known me for a decade believe that somehow I'm going to be violent and actually lay hands on a woman who's a friend over politics?
Brother, because first off, well, I'll tell you what it is. That's projection. That's projection. You were rolling with communists, sir. Let's be very clear about who these people are. You were rolling with communists. These people don't give a fuck about you. They don't listen, they don't even give a fuck about Brianna Joy Gray. Let's be very, very clear about this, because the shit I've heard, some of these people talk with the shit I've heard about with Crystal Ball and some of them other people on that Rising Network, the things that they have said and that have been said about Brianna Joy Gray by other leftists are just absolutely insane. There's a quote by Hegel that says history uses people and then discards them. It was your turn, nigga.
That's it.
That's what that was. It was your turn.
That's it.
Just like in 2021, it was my turn.
That's it.
Okay? It was my turn to get thrown away. And if there's one thing that I've learned in the last few years, and I got to take a little bit of a break. But if there's one thing that I've learned in the last several years, it is that these people care about nothing but power first. That's all that is. Give me 1 second, because I do have to take a quick break. I'm just going to play this video while I wait. I'll just play this quick video. I'll be right back.
The Democratic Party, I'm going to say it tonight so that you won't be confused, is the anti-Christ party. It is anti-family. And I'm going to say this, you're not going to believe it, but it is anti-black folk. You are only needed for votes. You are only loved when it's time to get your votes. There's no real care about you. And see, we still stuck, and we got that thing ingrained in us that this is the party for the black man. It is not. The party has changed. Black people, really, to be honest with you, have never been the priority. They have only been used. Go back and look at the Civil Rights Act of 1964. We've all given Democrats credit for that, but Johnson was the one that wanted to pass it, but he couldn't get enough Democrat votes to pass it. It was the Republicans that pushed and passed the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Go tonight and look it up. Look at
Oh, come on. All right. Here we go. There we go. I had to my bad. My
You
bad.
did, you did.
No, I had to
Good clip, by the way.
No, he's incredible. That pastor is incredible. And that was the one other thing that I wanted to talk to you about in a sec. But I do want to ask you about this autopsy.
Yeah.
This Democrat autopsy that apparently was hidden. They hid this. Yeah, they hid it.
Right.
And there's one thing that a friend of mine, a dear friend, we call her the Queen Apostate around here, Miss Evan Barker, wrote a piece in the Free Press. Shout to Evan. I love you, baby. You are incredible. She's got a book coming out next month. A book coming out in July. And we're gonna have her on again real soon. She's a great friend of great friend of the show. We love her dearly. She wrote a piece in the Free Press entitled "Has the Party I Quit Learned from Its Mistakes?" And she's writing about she was writing about this autopsy. Apparently, this review that the Democrat Party, Ken Martin, had written about, okay, and why they hid it. And they try to figure out like why it was hidden, okay. An old wound was reopened for Democrats on Thursday when a long suppressed autopsy of their 2024 election loss was finally revealed to the public. Commissioned by the Democratic National Committee, the report contains ugly truths the party brass preferred to avoid, and they suppressed it for more than a year before it linked to the press. But as a former Democrat operative myself, I know that looking right at the mess is a first step toward healing. President Trump, well, hold on, I'll start here. The autopsy ordered by new DNC chairman Ken Martin was supposed to guide that learning process, but it was a telling sign when months went by and it was never released. Senior officials were busily assigning blame to one another, fighting about whether Joe Biden's late exit from the race had doomed their chances, or if Kamala Harris's progressive image put swing voters out of reach. They didn't want to reckon with the policies and positions that had tainted the entire Democratic brand. Let me see, just to get to the meat of this. It says, for example, the report suggests that Harris lost black male voters because she did not address their economic concerns and made the mistake of, quote, assuming identity politics will hold male voters of color. In contrast, Josh Stein, a Democrat who won his 2024 race for governor of North Carolina, succeeded by focusing less on abstract issues and identity politics. Let me see here. There's basically it's an apt metaphor for the entire autopsy conundrum. Democrats must have a conversation they are not yet ready to have, but if they want to win again long term, they'll have to answer the toughest questions head on. I love Evan. She's been fantastic. I'm gonna just say this. The Democrats ain't learned shit. I don't think they're interested in learning anything, especially as they've continuously canted left. But the question I'm gonna ask you is, what do you think? Do you think that the Democrat Party is even remotely ready to learn the lessons of the last 10 years and maybe become, I don't know, normal again?
I want to know who has a trans kid and multiple billions of dollars to put into the Democratic Party that's making them jump off this cliff. It's gotta be something. I mean, they don't get out the bed for less than 20 mil. I mean, it's got to be real money behind this. So that's the first thing. This issue is becoming, and I know, yes, I agree. Republicans have played this up. They've been using this as an opportunity to beat the shit out of you. But if you didn't drop your left, they wouldn't be able to hit you with the right.
Exactly.
They walking into this shit. No, there's a reason. I need to know the reason. It's obvious they do not want to fix the problem, right? I was looking at that report too, and thank you for the link. They left out so many things. They didn't talk about Gaza and Israel. It's kind of a big deal, particularly in Michigan. They left out Joe Biden's age.
Yeah.
Like the whole country, like people get lost in the weeds on some of the policy, not that Kamala had any, but they can see old and over the hill. They can see decrepit. They can see cognitive decline. I mean, fucking Biden couldn't walk a flight of stairs. It looked like he didn't even know where he was half the time. And you mean that's not part of it? Like, no one needs to know policy nuance and civics to see that guy doesn't need to be running all of this shit over here. And somebody else had to be running it. So if you're going to have an autopsy, then you're not going to include that. And that goes to trust and credibility. And fuck it, people are like, let's roll with Trump again. Let's see what happens. At least he seems sane. He's in his right mind. He may be kooky, he may say mean things, but he's talking about money. He's talking about inflation. He's talking about safety. He's talking about shit we understand. Kama's just talking about, I had to hear one more story about the lady that lived down the hall who had a small business, and my mom and the greens in the tub and all this other shit that means nothing to people. How am I keep the lights on, Cammy? Help me pay the note on the car. How
how am I gonna buy a fucking house when BlackRock just bought it and offered to rent it out to me?
Hello. To me, Kamala and if that's not in the autopsy, the fact that they put up Kamala without going through a primary. Dog, she couldn't get votes in 2020. What do you think changed? Why would you think you could get votes in 2024? She did a lot better than I thought she was going to do, Isaiah. That's another thing. She did better than I thought she could possibly do. Because
there wasn't no other Democrat.
There it is.
When Joe Biden, that's why. That's the only reason why.
That's the only
reason. Joe Biden's, I've said this before, when Joe Biden's brains leaked out on that debate stage, I saw it. It just leaked out, right? Both ears. It just dripped down. You started seeing just pink around his fucking collar and his shirt, right? When you have Joe Biden's brains leak out and everybody's scrambling, okay, they had to go call a rabbi. They had to go call George Clooney, okay, because apparently he the Hollywood rabbi. He the one who basically was like, I think we need to talk about this. I think it might be time for Joe Biden to step aside. And 107 days. I'm gonna tell you right now, and my wife will disagree with me on this. There is an argument to be made about the fairness of the fact that Kamala Harris was Biden's VP, okay? And it was only right, and an argument could be made that it was only right that Harris be the one to basically to take over the campaign. But unfortunately, that's not how that works, okay? Kamala Harris was muscled through, no primary whatsoever. No primary. The fact is, Biden, there was a glitch in the auto pen because Biden was supposed to have stepped down or at least have said halfway into his term that he was not going to pursue a second term and that and that his endorsement, he was supposed to endorse Kamala Harris. That was the plan that I remembered. Like, I remembered writing about it. I remember talking about it with other people. But somebody in that, whoever was operating that auto pen was like, nah, we're going to take one more bite of the apple. I said this before. Joe Biden, like, no one, like, people get mad at me when I say this. You did not pick Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was picked for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. People get mad when you say that? That's like saying grass is green.
Democrats get mad at me for saying that shit.
Oh, well. They get mad. They get mad when you don't do pronouns right.
Exactly.
What are you gonna do?
You know, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but
you say Merry Christmas. You say Merry Christmas instead of Happy Holidays again, man. Fuck them.
Yo, she said, "How dare we speak?" Wait, do I have that clip? But she said, "How dare we speak Merry Christmas?" Yo, she did. Kamala Harris was. I'm like, all of us. You know how he just starts smelling rubbing alcohol everywhere. That's like every time Kamala Harris came on, it was a combination of Jack Daniels and rubbing alcohol. Like, that's
baby
really
oil.
Drunk.
Baby oil.
That's the kind of drunk Kamala Harris is, in my opinion. Like, just somebody just drink whatever's under the fucking sink because you ain't got nothing. Like, but like 1,300 delegates and $100 million in less than 3 days.
She had $1 billion, dog.
She spent over $1 billion. I'm talking about, bro. I'm talking about when the switch first came down.
Oh, okay.
When the switch first happened, Kamala Harris had all 1,300 delegates and $100 million in the bank in less than a week. You can't tell me that wasn't coordinated. The Democrat Party blew. Honestly, that's when I knew right then and there, this is a machine. We're not dealing with people at this point. When it comes to the Democrats, we are dealing with a machine, a well-oiled, well, not so well-oiled now, but we are dealing with a massive machine state party.
Oh yeah, man. Isaiah, man, there was this thing called a DNC fraud lawsuit that took place. God, I want to say 2018, bro. Well, they were suing the DNC because the DNC, they felt like Bernie got cheated, like progressives have been through this whole rigmarole. And the lawyers for the DNC, their argument in court was, and when I had Donna Brazile on the show, I made her respond to this. The lawyers for the DNC said, this is our party. It's a private organization. We can elect whoever the fuck we want.
Yep.
We could go in the back room like we used to do in the old days, light cigars, drink some whiskey, and pick the nominee. That's what they said in a court of law.
I think I remember her saying that. I remember hearing, like, didn't she say that on some show? Or she said that, I remember her saying something to that effect publicly. I remember her saying that.
It's facts. That's what was said in the transcripts of the lawsuit itself. That's how they responded in court.
But that don't surprise me.
And it's true. It is a private organization. It's just, if people don't want to accept that they could, just like people say the NFL or NBA, the refs, and they want the bigger markets, so they kind of put their finger on the scale to get better. Like wrestling ain't real. So is the DNCs. In fact, part of my argument, Isaiah, just to call back real quick, part of the reason why when people say, oh, Republicans are so bad, I'm always like, I don't know, because they didn't want Trump. They hated Trump. The Republicans hated Trump.
Republicans hated him, yeah.
Who did they end up with?
Donald in particular.
They ended, but Isaiah, they ended up with him anyway. Because the people wanted him.
Exactly.
That's not how shit works in the Democratic Party.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
So who's more corrupt? If the establishment, the elites can hate a guy and say, we're going to send everybody at him. Chris Christie, Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush, everybody come at this guy. Gwen Raphael, whatever her name was, whatever the woman was, they had everything. They sent women candidates, men candidates, robots. They sent everything at him. And he still won, not once, not twice, 3 times in a row. Democrats would never let that happen. So you got to look at it for what it is.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've never, it just enrages me when I think about the way in which these Democrats just completely ran over the way that they run over their own voters on a regular basis. We talked about, like, blacks have been loyal. The black people have been loyal Democrats since FDR.
Now, you know what? I'm changing. I want to change that. Change that language. Not loyal, captive.
There we go.
Psyop.
Perfect.
Psyop, dog.
You know what?
They say that's the Klan over there. Yes. What else you gonna do?
Yes. So the black vote in America has been captive to the Democrat Party since FDR. Okay. The parties have never switched. We've talked about this before on the show. The parties have never switched. So 93, what disturbs me so greatly is the fact that they roll over people. They just, I'll give you a perfect example. Here in New York, well, I'm not in New York City anymore, but in New York City, they've been doing this thing. We'll talk infrastructure real quick. Bike lanes. They done put bike lanes everywhere. Okay. Every street, every avenue, every single, bike lanes everywhere. Even in neighborhoods when they know that nobody wanted them. Right?
Right.
2% of the population of New York City even rides like City Bike and all this other. Y'all have City Bike down there in DC or something or an equivalent. Yeah. Okay? Because the thing is, it's in every single Democrat-run city. Every single Democrat-run city has bike lanes going like through everywhere, right? Why are they doing it? They're trying to get cars off the road. And people don't want any part of it, but they force it through anyways. They go directly. The Democrats have become surprisingly adept at ignoring the will of their voters. Just completely casting it aside and just being like, you know what? Fuck this. You're going to do what we tell you to do. And if you don't like it, either you get with the program. Like, do you remember when Sean O'Brien, the president of the Teamsters Union, when he was on with Tucker Carlson a couple years ago, and he told this story of when a representative of the union met Kamala Harris, introduced herself as being with the Teamsters, and Kamala Harris was like, Teamsters? Oh, you better get on board. You better get on board right now. Just flat out, just telling, they think they have the labor unions. They have the leadership of the labor unions, but they don't have the rank and file all like that. But the point that I'm trying to make is Democrats have spent more time blowing out their core the core voting blocks because they're chasing illegals and everything LGBTQIAP. That's the way I see it. I don't know what you're seeing on your end.
No, that's pretty much the illegals. I see that. I understand that. I mean, if you got, what was it, 14 million? Some people say 20 million came in under Biden's watch. Some say 14 million.
It's somewhere between 15 and 20.
They don't
even know the real number because they let so fucking many in.
So, yeah, I see that. The LGBTQIA thing, I'm not sure what that's really about other than what I said earlier. But it's like they're buying a new... they're not trying to replace Black Americans, but they are definitely trying to build a new coalition. And the fact that we have been declining numbers in voting for them since 2008. I mean, since 2008, Black turnout has been dropping, and it's only going to get worse. I mean, once we got, a lot of Black Americans were waiting for us to get a Black president, and they thought a Black president was going to come in and do some shit for Black Americans. And when the horse gets the carrot and the carrot is stale, the horse ain't gonna run no more. I mean, that's all that happened. I mean, Barack came in there and said, "Pull your pants up, Pookie." You know, and they're like, "What?" He said, "Hey, I'm not the president of Black people. I'm the president of America." And they're like, "What? This is not what we said." I thought shit like Jay-Z. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
He went and bailed out Wall Street and said, "Fuck MLK Avenue." So a lot of Black men in particular who weren't so enamored with Michelle said, "Oh, fuck this." They may not have went and voted Trump, but they did say, "This couch looks comfortable." That's not in the autopsy report. So they have no choice. They have no choice but to bring in new voters if they want to have an actual shot at being in power again. I mean, they got to do something, man. Right?
I'm not convinced. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think, as is being shown with Spencer Pratt and with other Democrats, with other people who are just coming in and saying, "Listen," they're coming in with just basic solutions. We're going to enforce the law. That's all we're going to do. We're going to enforce the law, and that's it. We're going to get people off the streets. We're going to get these homeless people off the streets, get them clean, make the subways, actually make them safe for people to use. Because that's something else that these bike Nazis like to do, right? Where they'll just be like, "Well, fuck you. We're taking your car. Yeah, we want cars off the road. Just take the train. If you live in the city, you don't need a car." But I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, you do need a car. And if you want everybody to just jump in to just take the train, y'all don't want to make the train. Y'all don't want to make the subway safe.
People getting burnt alive on the subway.
People get burnt alive in New York City. You got two kids who were surfing on the top of a J train, hit a steel beam on the Williamsburg Bridge and fell off. One of them, a 14-year-old boy, fell, hit his head, got knocked out, fell down through. I don't know how he did it. He fell down on a beam and then went down to the ground. Dunzo. And then you had an 18-year-old boy currently fighting for his life. Well, I hate using terminology like that. He's currently in critical condition in the hospital. Just riding the train. You're not doing anything. Y'all want these people want everybody to get on the trains. But yet they don't want to do anything to address any type of safety, any type of crime, any type of drug use is going on. I know it's happening in DC's metro as well.
Yeah.
Right? Why do I talk about this? Because when it comes to addressing real Democrats just don't want to do it. They don't you can't when it comes to basic issues, they don't it
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's like, okay, Spencer Pratt, getting back to that now, I'm getting back on my train of thought.
Yeah.
Spencer Pratt's house got burnt down. The Palisades got burnt to the ground. Spencer Pratt said not only did his house burn down, but his parents' house burnt down along with some other people that he knew. He wants to simply build. He wants to do stuff. He wants to actually make things right. And it's so crazy because all the left have done is they fight him on it. They fight him on it. It's like they fight anybody who simply wants to make things right, who just simply want things to work. the Democrat Party, and I'm gonna quote Sonny Johnson, the Democrats just they want to be the party of the poor so bad, right? But they want you to be poor. They got to keep you poor. You said it at the beginning. They want to keep everybody poor. Well, everybody they want to keep us poor and downtrodden, and just they want the vote. Like you said, they want the vote. But they don't want, but even worse, they don't want people coming in and doing stuff because they want everybody to just figure you can't do anything. It's all racism. It's all bad for you. It's all bullshit. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm convinced it's just a narrative that works where people are just, it's like feeding the rage bait. You know what I'm saying? And it keeps everybody riled up, and maybe you don't pay attention to the policies and you don't pay attention to the guy picking your pocket. That's it. Because you're too focused on what's there to be upset about. So I say always go back to economics. I don't even spend that much time on race. I mean, I talk about black people, but I'm not talking about race all the time. I'm talking about economics. Last time I checked, if you had some money in your pocket, you could choose where you shop. You could choose your environment, and then you have options. But as long as you are poor and black, that's a problem. You can't be both things. So that's what I'm on. I'm not just on, we end the fuck what people think about you. Like, I mean, come on, man. If we walk around our whole lives worried about other people's inner feelings about, no, man, we need to be civil. We need to be respectful, be human. That's it. You ain't got to love somebody to follow the law, to follow the rules, and mind your business. Fine. But the economic part, man, the where, people don't have what they need. They're not given the opportunities. That's the problem. And the facade, I'm tired of the bullshit like Shark Tank. A lot of people watch Shark Tank and they think that shit is real. So part of my job on my show is to educate people, let them know. In reality, only about 4% of venture capital money goes to black people. I know you watch Shark Tank, and every other show there's a black guy or a black woman with some niche product that they're investing in, but in real life, that's not how shit is. Okay, you're not getting those opportunities like that. And look, I'm not saying working class white people are either. I'm not saying that. It's just there's so many white folks that the ones with the access and the resources. It seems like it's a lot of white people, but it's not working class white people. You're gonna struggle too if you're working class. You know what I'm saying? So it's enough. It's all these narratives that are going around that keep us fixated on the bullshit. Back to your point about the subways. Very simple. You would think if you don't want people to drive, you got to make it safe. That's not rocket science. That's like it's intentional to keep us distracted. It has to be. Because, dog, we're not geniuses to say, okay, if you want me to ride and if you want me to come into this car, clean it up. Make it so I don't die on the way.
Thank you.
That's not, how does that become partisan, bro? How is that political?
Because the way I see it is we're not, like I said before, we're not dealing with regular Democrats. I think the Democrat Party machine, the Democrat Party died as a viable political entity. I am convinced when Obama came along.
I like it.
Obama came along. There was no more need to. It was like, okay, we gave, y'all got a black president now. We ain't got to do nothing else for you niggas. Yeah. That's what it was. We ain't got to do nothing else for you.
Pretty much.
All you got to do, all you need to do is just vote for us in the same numbers that you've been voting for us in. And that will be the end of it. Do not expect anything. In fact, what we'll do, and I wanted to get your opinion on this with the whole redistricting thing that's been going on.
Yeah.
We're gonna pen you niggas in these these majority black congressional districts, gerrymandered specifically for the gerrymandered specifically on race. And then we're going to put black mayors, black governors. We might even give you some black Congress people and senators to look at. They did it. I mean, they did it in Louisiana. I don't know if you saw that gigantic swath. It was 2 districts. It was 2 majority black districts that they put together. Well, they didn't put it together, but they joined together, right?
Okay.
All of the districts. I think, matter of fact, I think I still have the images of it. They put 2 majority black districts. They had all the big cities. Okay, so Shreveport, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, they had them all in these in these 2 congressional districts, and that's basically like almost the entirety, the vast majority of the black population in the state of Louisiana were in them were in those districts. What did that look like to you? What does that sound like to you? It sound like a fucking that sound like a fucking plantation.
Yeah, it sound like a setup.
Here it is right here.
Yeah.
The second congressional district and the 6th congressional district. Supreme Court came in and knocked all that foolishness down.
You know, I have a hard time deciding if it's good to be gerrymandered. like I don't know, man. Like I need to talk to, you know. I don't know if my people understand all skin folk ain't kinfolk, and just because someone's black doesn't mean they have your best interest at heart. See, white people already know that shit because white people been screwing over white people since the millennium, since the dawn of time. You know, fucking Ukraine and Russia are next door neighbors, man. You see what they do, you know. So I don't know why and I know what it is. I know it's a struggle. I understand it's historical. Once upon a time, we had to stick together to survive. So I get that, but people don't realize this ain't then, this is now. And these people want to get the bag and leaving you holding the bag.
Exactly.
They're not getting it. So I don't know, man. If who's ever going to do the better job is going to put enacted policies that help my family is the person I want to see elected. It doesn't matter what they look like. It just and I know it's a hard sell because if you've been watching MS Now, MSNBC all your life to realize that shit. But
that old
Lionel Richie make them realize it, man. I don't.
You see that Lionel Richie looking motherfucker they got on there now?
Yeah.
That nigga got the juiciest Jerry curl I ever seen in my fucking life.
I've been trying to figure out how him and K-Part, like K-Part he's horrible. Like,
what do you mean?
I mean, I don't see any talent. Dog, I can respect. Like, I do not like Joy Reid. Okay. As a commentator, I mean, as a human, I don't know her, so I can't say as a human being, but I could say I found her off-putting as fuck, right? But
I do know her.
You do know Joy Reid?
I do. Well, I'll put it like this. I did. Because I don't know who the fuck that is.
Wow.
I don't know who the fuck that is. I'm sorry. I don't know who that is. I met Joy Reid back in 2015.
Wow.
Right around the Freddie Gray. I mean, I had known Joy for years because she was one of my first dead ass. She was one of my first follows on Twitter. One of my very first follows was she was the Reid Report. And she seemed like a very she seemed like a very nice person. Back when I met her back in 2015. I don't know what the fuck that is. Or what the fuck that was on MSNBC all them years ago.
That money.
I don't. The money, the fame. It was, I don't know if it was the pressure of being on that stage and being like the darkest skin, the darkest skinned black woman, because because the one thing I have learned about progressives is that the blacker the berry, the sweeter the fetishization. Okay, I've learned that a lot lately. I mean, the fucking Bill de Blasio with Shirlane McRae up here. But anyways, I don't know what that is. Joy Reid is in end stage Trump derangement syndrome. That's all I can say. Now regarding Capehart, I want to hear what you have to say about that brother, because I know him too. I've known Capehart for many years.
What I was going to say is that Joy Reid, though I found her off-putting with her commentary, I can see the talent. I respect talent.
Yeah.
She's smart as shit, and I give her that. So I don't have to agree with you to say this is an intelligent, well put together, know how to articulate an argument person. I do not feel that way when I watch Capehart. I don't feel that way when I watch Sharpton. It's not just Capehart. Sharpton. I don't feel that way when I watch Simone Sanders. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, but just because they're black or brown, they present as if they're black American. I don't know if they are, but they appear to be.
Capehart is from New Jersey. Capehart from Newark. I don't know
where's people from.
From Jersey. His mother was a retired nurse.
Yeah, I think I seen him bring his mom on the show.
Yeah,
I seen him bring his mom on the show.
Well, Capehart's like 60 or approaching 60. I haven't seen him in years.
Okay. But I just think that there's a reason why these people are there, man. Why they're still around. I mean, the ratings can't be that good. I don't who goes, oh shit, Capehart. I don't know. Come on, it's not like the following is that, I just don't see them having that thing that makes people go, I gotta watch Capehart. That's it.
When it comes to Jonathan, like I said, I've known him for many years. I don't go as hard on him as much as others do. Okay.
Oh, that January 6th shit with the cop, the guy.
Yeah.
Come on. He was doing the Van Jones cry. Oh God, just thank you for your service. I'm like, come on, man, this is bullshit.
How do I put this about Capehart? How do I put this about MSNBC in general?
I got it. Fuck Capehart. There you go. And it wasn't him, y'all. It was me. It was me.
Listen, I haven't spoken to Jonathan in several years. Also, I mean, again, like when you get to certain points in your career, right? When you get to certain places, especially when the true story about Capehart, he was one of my journalism mentors when I first went to University of Baltimore in 2013. He was one of my journalism mentors.
Wow.
And because I was seriously pursuing a college education, I was just turned 30. I had married my second wife in 2012. And I was, I was ready to, try to get a degree. I was a project to, I was a project nigga to my second wife, and she did what she did what any girl would want for a project man to do, which is go to college. You can't sell cars all your life, right? That was my former career. Sold cars.
Yeah.
So
I did that for a minute too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I love the shout to Audi Silver Spring. I love y'all down there.
Right.
But it was like Capehart, took a look at several pieces that I had written. He knew that I was going to school for corporate communication, stuff like that. I ended up dropping out after my second wife and I separated. And then I ended up moving up here to New York. And like I said, I haven't spoken to him in a while.
Did he try to hit and you turned him down? So he was like, "Fuck you," or why?
He a married man.
Okay.
He a married man. He married his
Isaiah, jokes.
No, I'm just saying. Well, no, he married a white guy by the name of Nick Schmidt, and they've been together for years. Them two. So yeah, but the point is, I've known him for a long time. I honestly believe if there's one thing that I could say truthfully, I just think that there was something in these people that broke when Trump came along.
Money. Isaiah, I literally know people. I know a guy. You're way more articulate, more interesting, more charismatic, more fun to listen to than this guy. He has become real talk. I know a guy has become a multimillionaire, and all he did was make negative Trump content. He's a multimillionaire. He doesn't even live in the United States, but on YouTube, doesn't matter. I'm telling you, I seen them pick up the bag. So it's the money, bro. It's the money, like you said, the money they access. It's the machine. And even if you are good-hearted, good person, whatever, in the system, you learn to either go along or get the fuck out. And so whether it's Joy or Don Lemon or Kyle Kalinske or Cristobal, whoever it is, if you want to work on major news, you got to play ball. And if you got to be a mouthpiece for the state. What's that, brother?
You got to be a mouthpiece for the state. That's what it is. I mean, because think about it. MSNBC, CNN, all like those two networks alone are mouthpieces for the DNC.
Yeah.
There's no other way. There's no other way to describe it. One of my the SDW was MSDNC. Absolutely. That's why it exists. When you go on there, I mean, when I think of Rachel Maddow, who's one of the worst offenders in this case.
Oh yeah.
$25 million a fucking year. $25 million a fucking year to induce mental illness on the population.
Think how it scares the old folks. Think about the mental anguish it causes people that don't know any better to live with this type of doom and gloom over their heads 24/7 because just for money. Just for money. I mean, anything the Democrats do, anything Trump has done, and I will plant a flag here and say anything Trump has done. Before you talk about it, make sure the Democrats haven't done, because everything he's done, when I take time and look, Democrats have already done it, and sometimes better, and sometimes more often. When I'm talking about that, I mean negative. Anything negative, anything they're complaining about, they already did this shit. Whether it's deportations, anything you can imagine, they've done. So, when
I listen to, it's so funny you talk about, like the relationship with like scaring people, and all of the foolishness that the Democrat Party and MSNBC and all those other ones, like, every other day it's like Trump is a racist, Trump is a fascist, Trump is this, Trump is that. And then one of the things that really stuck out to me was Trump's inauguration speech last year, where he thanked he thanked black and brown people for their vote. Here it is right here. I want to get your thoughts on this on the other side.
To the Black and Hispanic communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it. I've heard your voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor, but in his honor, we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true.
That's the part about, that's something that they never wanted to show. And I remember on my Facebook page, I remember just posting that clip and going, I thought you said this man was racist. I thought you said this man was racist. Had you seen that before, Tim?
Yeah, I've seen a number of his. Yeah. The Jesse Jackson I thought was very eloquent.
Yeah.
The tribute to Jesse, the best tribute that I've seen anyone give Jesse Jackson, by the way.
I mean, well, like he funded his campaign.
There it is. Gave him an office in Trump time.
Like he gave the man money.
Yeah.
He gave the man money. Nobody, and that's the part that always tripped me out. It's like, y'all did not, nobody think Trump was, and I'm saying this as someone who did think Trump was racist. Right. No one thought Trump was racist until the Democrats said he was. No one believed that Trump was racist. No one believed that Trump was this evil bad guy until the DNC, through by way of MSNBC and CNN and all of them others. No one believed he was a racist until they started pumping that.
So they had to play against him.
Exactly.
That's it, man. That's the deal. Mm-hmm. That's it, you know. And then he said, "Fuck it." He took the gloves off.
Yep. No, matter of fact, no. When Barack Obama started fucking with him unsolicited in 2011 at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, that's when that right there.
Oh my God.
Why
he was fuming, wasn't he?
Oh, why would you do that? Bro, I'm still trying to figure out why Trump decided to do that. I'm sorry, not Trump. Why did Obama decide to fuck with Donald Trump the way he did at that thing?
Arrogance. Arrogance.
Yeah.
Arrogant, elitist asshole. That's why. Untouchable. He thought the Democrats were untouchable.
Well, let me ask you this. Since I got a couple more questions for you.
Sure, bro.
How has your opinion about Barack Obama changed? Ooh. Or has your opinion of Barack Obama changed over the years?
No, I mean, well, like many other Black Americans, in 2008, I thought this is great. But by 2012, I had already awakened to the reality. This guy wasn't doing shit for us. He was it was symbolism. That's it. And it wasn't enough. I remember I got into an argument with Ari Spears. And Ari Spears is one of the kind. What? Yeah, Ari Spears. The argument was I was criticizing Obama because Obama, he had just went down to Flint, Michigan and drank the water and basically mocked the black kids and the poor ass white kids that live in Flint who was drinking this toxic water, causing neurological disorders and what have you. And he went down and he did the whole stunt. And he even says, as he's drinking the water, I don't usually do stunts like this. I don't usually do this, but okay. See, nothing wrong with it. It's fine. There was a Republican governor that he was covering for. Ari Spears got mad at me. He says, why you can't stick up for brothers? Why brothers always got to come after brother? He gave me that as if Obama needs your broke ass to defend him, right? It's a mental disorder we have, some of us, where we got to defend everybody black, even when they're rich as God almost. I mean,
Yep.
this guy did nothing but enrich himself in the White House. He comes out like a fucking king.
He turned the Democrat Party into like one of the most corrupt institutions ever. The way in which he's laid traps for the Trump administration all throughout throughout every single department of government.
Yeah.
The deep state is a very, very, very real thing, to the point where guys who are under investigation, John Brennan, who is under investigation, James Comey, who has been indicted not once but twice, them two said that there are plenty of people that we have still in the system who are doing everything they can. Lots of dedicated men and women who are disrupting the Trump agenda. And I'm just like, why would Obama did that.
Bugged Trump Tower.
Did that.
They bugged Trump Tower.
They bugged Trump Tower. They bugged Mar-a-Lago. Right? This is real shit. They were trying to do the fact that if you want to know when my opinion about Barack Obama changed, when he started talking down, when he talked down to them black men at that
I know
at that Kamala Harris at that Kamala Harris meeting, that made me so mad. I'm like, how in the world are you gonna do this? You got these black, this woman doesn't, this woman looks just like your mother's. She's out here. She went to school with you. She looks like you. She talks like you. How come you niggers aren't out here on the plantation? You're not getting these votes like we need. And I don't understand. Identity politics. Should we call your mother? I hated Obama for that, because this was the same guy who during my brother's keeper. He remember when he touted that? He was like, well, I'm going to do this outside of congressional, outside of congressional authority. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get these corporate people. I'm just like, and he went and he just lauded himself as if he was this grand savior of blacks. But then you don't hear anything about my brother. You barely hear anything about my brother's keeper now. And to listen to this same guy go at black men, some of whom loved him and looked up to him, I lost it, bro. I lost it. I'm like, I can't do this with this dude. How dare you talk to black men, the same people y'all Y'all are the same ones who want to get black folk in line. Y'all do this. Y'all have done shit from no voting, no fucking. You put that freak looking saucy Santana ass dude. You put him up there and to tell black women, oh, don't you fuck him if he don't vote Democrat. What the freak? But
it's low. It's low, man.
That. I'm just sick and and this is the other thing too. I want to ask you about this. This is another question I want to ask you. How many other black men do you that you would, in your experience, how many black men do you come across who feel this same kind of, I don't know, the same kind of anger and disappointment? There was this, they thought they had a reasonable expectation about the political party that we've been voting for almost instinctively.
Wow.
what have you come across in terms of black men and their thoughts about the Democrat Party these days? And have you and what solutions do you think like we could come, because it's like, reason why I ask this is that it's like we're still in a phase of anger. We're angry at being betrayed, right? So I know that's where I come from. But like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, what are you seeing?
Well, the majority of black men that I deal with, and I have now a larger black following than I did 5 years ago. I've really focused on growing that. So the majority of the black men that I interact with, they're well past this Democrat Republican bullshit. They're totally on economics. They're totally on what's going to benefit their communities and what's going to put them in a better position to compete in the country, in the economy. That's where they are. And fuck it. I mean, Trump has delivered an extension on black people. What I mean by that is Trump's deportation policies. Say whatever. I don't care. Shithole countries, fine. What he's done with that to slow down the deterioration of black spaces, give us an opportunity to slow down the Biden immigration train. Fam, we'll take it all day. 7 days a week, twice on Sundays. That is something. That's more than what we would get under the Democrats. It doesn't mean we're Trumpers. It doesn't mean, yeah, we're going to vote for this guy. And it doesn't matter now because he's done. But most of the black men that I know are more focused on the economic side of the game. That's it. So the rest of it, the social shit, we've always had these problems. There's always been an issue with any other thing the Democrats want to point. They haven't fixed any of that shit anyway. They point at issues, they don't fix them, and they want us to fixate on them. I'm encouraged by the number of black men that I meet that now have got their heads together. They may be upset, but they don't feel betrayed, because to be betrayed at this point, right? And don't get me wrong, some people at different points in the process, but the majority that I deal with, they would have to have trust to begin with to be betrayed. If you didn't believe in the Democrats to begin with, then you don't feel betrayed. You're confirming. You know what I'm saying? You're confirming what you already thought to be true. And they'll say to me, like you said, it was just your time, nigga. That's your wake-up call. They the same way. They're like, well, you didn't know you thought Nancy Pelosi gave a fuck? It's like, what? You thought Chuck Schumer was your guy? Why would you think so? Nah, man. We good. Obama did us dirty, but it helped us. It had to happen. We had to see it for what it is. We had to see it, bro.
It just reminded me of something I saw from Frank Ski, where he was talking about how it's something you said about Trump and how he's term limited. The fact that Frank Ski said something earlier this week. He was convinced. It was on Instagram.
Oh shit!
You didn't see this?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, hold on. Let me look for it. I can get your reaction on this.
Oh, come on, Frank.
Yeah.
I know Big Boy got his head, bro. He need to get his head checked. They been hanging around D.L. Hughley too long, man. They on that bullshit. Ricky Smiley. Man, this shit is horrible. I don't know. Maybe Kamala gave him some. I don't know. What's up with DL? They might have something on him, actually. I don't know. Something's going on.
No, that's his nickname. His nickname is on the DL Hughley. Because don't no real man who talk that way. Ain't no way he ain't. Ain't no way he ain't. But let me, I want to get your thoughts on this. Donald Trump doesn't have any plans to leave the White House. Oh boy, I know this is going to be right down your lane. Here we go.
Controversial. And I may catch a lot of heat for saying it. But hey, I'm Frank Ski and I'm just frankly speaking. What I'm about to tell you should scare the hell out of you. So listen carefully and don't scroll. Give me 2 minutes. I think even if you go out in record numbers, Democrats, and you win the midterm, even if you win the next presidential election, I don't think Donald Trump has any plans on leaving the White House. Why do you say that, Frank Ski? Well, number one, he's building a $1 billion ballroom that won't be completed until after he's scheduled to leave office. I know the 22nd Amendment says you can only run and win twice. But guess what? The Supreme Court is overturning a lot right now, and Donald Trump has them in his back pocket.
That's the argument.
Dumb motherfucker.
That's the argument. Wait, it gets worse.
And guess what? He just set up a $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund. Why would he do that? Why would he pay the insurrectionists that stormed the Capitol? The same guys that killed a police officer and went to jail, the same guys that he pardoned, he now wants to pay them with your tax dollars? Yeah, I get it. You know what Tupac said, right? We got money for wars, but we can't feed the poor. Right?
That line, Jesus Christ.
And guess what?
Are you okay over there, Tim?
Dog, it's so much misinformation and bullshit. It's okay not to be into politics. It's like all these dumbasses just come out, they just repeat what they heard. Dog, this is okay. So the ballroom, there's a lot of reasons why a builder who's always built shit might want to build something. That's what he knows best, is building buildings. Building a ballroom makes sense for him. And it's going to be there for a long time, hopefully. Exactly, and it'll be a memorial to what he put together. He did that. He championed it. And it's not even your money.
They're going to use it after he gone.
That's crazy.
That's the, like...
And then the other thing, before I forget the other thing, that's so bullshit. The Weaponization Act, man, dog, the Weaponization Act, they're framing it like it's just for January 6th. It's not just for anybody. It's a fund that the IRS had to put together because they leaked his taxes. He sued them for $10 billion. $10 billion. So I think they got off light if they only have to put together 1.776 pot of money. For anybody else, they fucked over. It's a commission and anybody can apply. And if you get approved, you can get allocated some money, but you got to show damages. There are people that got jammed up in January 6th who didn't even go in the fucking Capitol. I mean, can you imagine that?
And Enrique Tarrio was one. Enrique Tarrio, the head of the Proud Boys, they sentenced that dude to 20 plus years in prison, and he was nowhere near Washington, D.C. For January 6th.
If Enrique would have if he'd have fell in this bathtub the morning of January 6th, that shit would have still happened.
Yep. And they still would have found a way to arrest, to bring his ass in. I'm telling you, man, they were going to lock him up for 20 plus years. The Democrats were.
It's just bullshit, man.
Like,
don't get me wrong, Isaiah. If you were there and you beat up cops or whatever, that's different, right? But if you weren't there, if you weren't committing violence, then yeah. And you had your life destroyed, you lost your home, you lost your job, you lost your career, you lost your status, you lost, I don't know, like if you could prove that, we're a country of suing. That's what we do in America, man. We're the most litigious country in the Western world.
Exactly.
Motherfuckers sue in America for their coffee being too hot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Real
See, you know what? You just dated yourself. You just dated yourself with that reference.
You know about that case?
I do indeed. I think we might actually be around the same age. I could be wrong about that. Because I'm 43.
Oh no, man, I'm 50, man. I'm 50, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm OG, man.
Oh, you know what? My apologies.
I remember 43. Don't get me wrong. I remember, but yeah, man. But these talking heads, man, they don't know shit, Isaiah. Why can't Isaiah Why can't he pay you, Isaiah, to give him like pointers on politics? Why he just come out here and repeat dumb shit?
Because you know, I'm gonna say this, Tim. Because honestly, when I watched that first time, I thought about it. I'm like, you can't be serious. You just cannot be serious right now with that dog shit. He wants to build a ballroom, so he can't. So he must not want to leave office. What the fuck kind of argument? But here's what I genuinely believed him, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong. I am convinced that urban radio is a motherfucking psyop. I believe that urban radio is political programming. From Charlemagne the God on the Breakfast Club to 107.5 WBLS, okay, up here in New York, right? I have never been more convinced that urban radio is psychological programming. It is political propaganda. They spread political propaganda. Every other day when I listen to, because in my job, it's like WBLS plays everywhere, right? And it's like every other day I'm listening to the same songs 10 times a fucking day, along with political messaging about, well, you know, so Ron, my Donnie girl, he gonna be doing this for the community. And it's like, I'm just like, oh my God, like, why are you? Trump gonna get y'all. Trump gonna deport black people, girl. And niggas be believing that shit.
Right.
Like what? They literally believing that Donald Trump is gonna come in the middle of the night and just deport the hood. I'm just like, bruh. If they deport that, look, first of all, if he were to deport the hood, I'd support it. But anyway,
nah.
Half of them, half of the hood need to be deported. Shit. It's either they self-deport on top of fucking subway train these days. Shit. That's what they're about now at all. It's crazy to me. All this violence, all this foolishness and everything. It's like, come on. And I'm not even in, like, I try not to bag on our on too much on the black community, but it's hard. It's hard because honestly, it's like when you believe bullshit, when you get the same messages pumped in your head by the same people who have nothing but the same messages to offer you. It's just fear and illiteracy and innumeracy and just constantly learned helplessness and all this other foolishness. They do not advance beyond what they've been programming people with, excuse me. And it's infuriating. It's infuriating. It's like black folk just don't have no agency except when it comes to listening to whatever they want to program people with. It's frustrating, and I try to be nice, but I'll let you land my plane here. I just don't see how this ends.
And if you feel that way now, you sure didn't want to be here 5 years ago because it was worse. I mean. We got a fighting chance now. At least now we got people that are pushing back who have taken the time to build platforms.
True. That
are putting a crack in the armor, man. 10 years ago, fam, it was a wasteland out here. It was Road Warrior, the Doomsday, dystopian times. There was nothing out this month. I mean, finally, people are waking up. You know what I'm saying? In droves, and you're here. What you hear online, you're here in the real world. You'll hear real people on some fuck the Democrat shit. That's new.
Yeah, man. I'm loving it.
That's a new phenomenon. And I get your frustration with people not knowing, man. They just haven't heard, bro. So many people don't know who we are. They need to know.
Exactly. Tim, I want to thank you, brother, for joining me tonight, man. This has been an absolute pleasure. I thank you. First off, honestly, you have brought a level of style to this show that I can only like look at this man's sweater. Where did you get that, brother? That's what I want to know. I want to know where you got the sweater, and I want to know where you got that hat. Cause bruh.
Yeah. Look, I'll DM you.
Okay, yeah, you know what? That's what's up. That's what's up.
Look, I got your number now, so I'll text you.
There you go. There you go. What are you working on right now, and where can the people find you?
Man, just I'm working. You know what? Just find me, Real Tim Black Show. That's it. You look it up. See, I'm in ChatGPT now. My brother hit me up. He was like, Tim, my little brother, Tim, I put you in ChatGPT and had you in there.
No way.
Yeah, real shit. When I'm on Facebook and people giving me a hard time, they telling me what I believe and what I think, I just pull up the Meta AI and say, there goes Tim Black. There you go.
There you go.
You right. Some of it is inaccurate, but most of it's right.
That's what's up.
Now you know the name because of Isaiah, man. You know, and now you can find me. Live streams Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
What time? You normally in the morning or in the evening?
In the evening, 9:30 p.m. But I really don't get started until 10.
I got you. Okay, I will make a note of that. Tim, thank you so much for joining me, my brother. I think my platform, this platform is also yours. Whenever you want to come back, man, we'd love to have you.
And look, Isaiah, I'm gonna have to bring you on, man. Look, I'm a firm believer in do unto others as you would do, and let's definitely get you on the Tim Black Show, man, so I can introduce you to my people.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Please enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Don't eat too much barbecue.
You got it, brother. Thank you once again for the love, brother. Peace.
Thank you, man. Peace. Yo, that's a good man right there, y'all. That's a good man right there. I am very, very thankful to have had Mr. Tim Black on with us this evening. And I want to thank y'all for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. The last portion of this show, usually when Nino's here, try to talk about like some stuff like individually. I got one thing since Nino's traveling, and I hope he's safe wherever him and his family are. We love you, bro, and we thank you for everything that you do here for the show. I want to talk about my team for a second. I say this all the time, DC United. This is not a soccer podcast, but we are soccer fans. So DC's going to come up every now and then. Something happened last night that I don't think I've ever seen before in sports. I've been a fan of this club for 13 years now, going 13 years. And I have never in my life known of a club that does not one, but 2 4-4 draws. The first DC United, the first draw that DC United had was against Red Bull New York up here when we played New York Red Bulls away. A 4-4 draw. It was a game for the ages, as many have said. It's like MLS is like, oh my God, made all the highlight reels, some of these goals, the back and forth. And yes, last night DC had a 4-4 draw against CF Montreal. We at one point led 4-2. Everybody basically thought that the game was going to be, there were times in which I thought the game was going to be in the bag, and then, it wasn't. And there's so much here. It's so crazy because I remember, like, at the beginning of the year, there was a spell when DC went like 4 or 5 matches and didn't score. Then there was only a time when Ty Baribo scored. That was it. He was like the only goal scorer we had. Now everybody's scoring fucking goals. Everybody's scoring goals. You got Montanu, shout to Louis the kid. He's a great kid. Baribo scored on a penalty kick. You had Jared Stroud, who, you know, has been a bench player for the longest. He scored a goal last night, and then Captain Lucas Bartlett, he scored a goal on a set piece. He had a rough game Saturday night. He had a really rough fucking game. To be honest with you, I was going to yell at him a little bit for getting trucked basically by Prince Owusu last night, but you know, I'm sure he heard about it enough. There's an argument, you know, people have kind of said like, oh my God, we might be cursed. We might be cursed. It's like DC United. I don't believe that DC are cursed. Thank you, Denis, for the love. Thank you, Denis. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. I don't think DC United are cursed. I think this is the first time that in years that we have had like a coach and a coaching staff who are serious about competition. And I mean this, we have had some coaches that have gone through the motions, that didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Okay. And we had one coach who ended up giving Chris Seitz a fucking eating disorder. A couple other players actually, on top of Chris Seitz. You end up giving guys eating disorders because, you know, you have this really tyrannical fitness check. You know, that's why Ednan Lozada will probably never coach again in MLS, but that's besides the point. This is the first time the DC have actually had a coach who wants to do something, who wants to build with this who wants to build this franchise into something great. This isn't a curse. These are growing pains, I would call them. You've already had a couple of players who are blowing out and don't want to be there anymore. Gabriel Pirani, who I've gotten on many times over the years. He's going to be gone. He hadn't, you know, he don't want to play anymore. Pirani, you know, I've talked many times about how Pirani basically needs to put on about, 30 pounds of muscle. He don't want to play anymore. That he doesn't want to play on, with DC. He hasn't been good. And he got coddled by Troy Lesane. I blame him for that. The surprise that I had in terms of wanting out from DC is Aaron Herrera. I've known Aaron for, since he came to the club. He's a great dude. I love him. I love Aaron. We've become, something of friends over the last several years. And it's going to hurt. It hurts to see him struggle like this. It hurts to see somebody when they're down, with somebody very, very talented, when they're in a doldrum and can't get over the hump, right? You get frustrated at yourself. You get frustrated at everybody else. You don't know. It's like you got the yips. And I honestly, wherever you go, Aaron, I want you to know that I appreciate you. I have appreciated your effort on the pitch, and I think the world of you, brother. And wherever you land, I'm going to root for you, and I do mean that. I love you, dude. You're a great guy, and you are still good at soccer. So shut the fuck up and get out there and play. I mean that, dude. I fucking mean that. You are better at soccer than what you realize. And I want you to, and no matter where you go, I want you to take that with you. Okay? But there is an argument to be made that DC are cursed. Because over the last couple of seasons, DC United don't like winning at home. There's a valid argument for that. Like the DC United, our home record has not been great. We've been somewhat of a road warrior team. And then the question becomes, well, why is that? Why are DC United such a road warrior team and they can't win at home for shit? There could be a lot of arguments made about that, but me personally, I think that if you want my personal opinion, it's always going to boil down to the experience at home. Yes, the crowds are loud, the crowds get rowdy, okay? It's known as Rowdy Outy if you have Spirit fans. Shout out to the Washington Spirit. But I'm gonna tell you exactly what I believe would cause this club to be cursed at home. I'm gonna show you this shit. This shit right here. Drag queens at a soccer game where there are children present. Okay? This shit is ridiculous. And I believe that there's a part of people in the club who know that this shit is ridiculous. Right? Y'all know this is ridiculous. Y'all knew this was ridiculous because you turned off the comments to the Instagram, to the post on Instagram. This is fucking despicable. Drag queens in front of kids. This is disgusting. That is why you keep losing. Yes, I'm going to say it. You bring that shit around children. You bring that shit into a positive, family-friendly, environment, and you will reap the benefits of it. You will reap the just reward for that nonsense on the pitch. I don't think DC have won a pride night game in years. I wonder why. And I'm not even talking about, this has nothing to do with the way y'all did Taxi. Although the Taxi Funtas situation is a totally other, it's a loosely related thing. Okay? Because you do still owe that man an apology. This club does owe Taxi and his family an apology for railroading him out of the black and red when he had a chance, when he was actually our best player. You still owe him an apology for that. And I'm going to keep making noise about that situation as so long as there's breath in my body. Believe that. But this is ridiculous. All of the the LGBTQIA nonsense that's in sport, period, is ridiculous. That shit is bullshit. Your players have families. Some with small children. They don't want to be around that shit. You got small kids that go to games. Why should they see that? There's your curse right there. If there's a curse to be had on this team, it's that when you bring that wickedness, when you bring that foolishness into a family-friendly environment, you will not succeed. Especially when it's corporate paid for. Because I remember when Grant Thornton was the one sponsoring this shit. Grant Thornton was the one who was doing all of your ESG compliance. So I know why you did it. I know why you did it. But if I were you, if I were Jason Levian, shout to Jason, shout to Stephen Kaplan. Having met the both of you, I do consider you two to be good men. I think y'all are trying. I think this is the first time in several years that you've actually had a plan of attack when it comes to making this club better. And I do want to give you your props. Hiring Erkut Sogut has been a step in the right direction. Rene Vila has been a step in the right direction. That man wants to, and the guy, he is getting the best. Vila is getting the best out of every single player on that pitch. And I admire him for it. I've had the chance to speak to Vila, and I like what I'm seeing from him, and I want him to keep it up. Of course, shout to Jackson Hopkins, my good young brother. Shout to Connor Antley and everybody and all the other players on that team that are doing things. Kurokawa, Keisuke, he's like an absolute tank. Kurokawa Keisuke is incredible. That's Blue Lock right there. I'm gonna call him Blue Lock. Like, dead serious. Montano is good, is fantastic. He's getting into the mix. Ty Baribo is everything as advertised and more. I love Ty. I'm glad that he's on our club as well. We've got a lot of good, humble young men ready to play. And they want to take this club in a different direction. I'm telling you right now, get that shit. Get this shit out of the stands. Keep this shit out of the stands. You do not need this. You do not need men in drag dancing at a family event. You do not need this. You get rid of this, you get rid of the curse. But I'm just one man with one opinion. I want to see this club do great. You got 2 months with this World Cup break. We'll see what happens. We got a lot of signings to get. So we'll see what happens. But that shit's got to go. Anyways, that's our show for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. I want to thank Tim Black once again for stopping by. And we will see you next week. We've got Mr. Frank McCormick joining us at 8 p.m. Eastern next Sunday. Looking forward to having him. He's a great guy. Good friend of ours, a fellow apostate. Chalkboard Heresy will be in the building. Thank you all again. This has been Apostate Radio, episode 55. Thank y'all again for joining us.